So this week's Parshas Vayakhel Perkudei goes through all the kelim and all the begadim that they use in the Mishkan. Now, if you look at Parshas Teruma Tetzaveh goes through. Vayakhel Perkudei is basically a repeat of Teruma Tetzaveh. By Teruma Tetzaveh is Teruma. It says all the kelim of the Beis Hamikdash. Tetzaveh it says all the clothing, the begadim that the Kohanim wore. Vayakhel Perkudei is basically a repeat of the two parshas.
Why?
Why? You want to know why?
Yeah.
So, they need 2 extra weeks to lay something.
No, the reason why it's a repeat is because I'll tell you the reason the Ramban says. Rashi has a different reason, but the Ramban says a very simple answer. The Ramban says that in Teruma Tetzaveh, Hashem was telling Moshe Rabbeinu what to make, how to make it, the kelim, the begadim, the mishkan, everything. Hashem told them how to make it. What happened in Parshas Kisisa last week? At the Chet Egel. The Jews went ahead and they made a Chet Egel. After the Chet Egel, who said Hashem is willing that you should have the mishkan? They betrayed Hashem. Says the Ramban, Vayakhel Perkudei is when Hashem is telling him again that even though they did the Chet Egel, still I want them to build the mishkan. And he recommended them after they did the Chet Egel.
They actually did it by the Perkudei. That's what says.
Yeah, and they gave it. Yeah.
But he doesn't explain why repeat all the dimensions and everything.
Because everything was.
Just say it. Do as I said.
No, that's it's a whole new commandment. After the Chet Egel, now it's a whole new commandment.
It's the same thing, exactly.
No, so first of all, it's a whole new commandment. Second of all, in Vayakhel, it's Moshe telling it over to Klal Yisrael. It's interesting to note that in Parshas Perkudei means the counting. This is the counting. And the Perkudei b'nei Yisrael. After every parsha, it says at the end of the parsha how many psukim there are.
Perkudei doesn't have it.
Perkudei doesn't have it for some reason.
It looked for it. I didn't buy it.
I knew that. You know.
I don't know the reason why.
I heard this about that.
Yeah. Perkudei doesn't have at the end how many psukim there are. Interesting to know, but that's not why we're here today anyway. So, Vayakhel Perkudei is a repeat of Teruma Tetzaveh. Now, there's something in all the kelim are said in Teruma and Tetzaveh. There's one of the kelim in the Beis Hamikdash that's not said in Parshas Teruma Tetzaveh. It's said in Parshas Kisisa, which is what? No, Vayakhel said in Teruma and Tetzaveh. The kiyar, right? When they washed the faucet they had made to wash the hands from. That's not said in Teruma Tetzaveh. That's said in Parshas Kisisa. After the whole parsha of the Teruma Tetzaveh, Kisisa has Rosh. Then it says the parsha, a few psukim of you should make the kiyar. Now the question is, why is the kiyar separate? Why wasn't the kiyar said together with the rest of the kelim that were made in the Beis Hamikdash?
It's not Mamash Keli, is it a Keli?
Why is it a keli?
We don't do any avodah with it.
Yeah. To wash your hands from it.
No, yeah, but it's not avodah. It's preparation for it.
Oh, very good. So the Cheskuni says that the kiyar was not a kli they used for avodah. They didn't use the kiyar for any avodah, any work in the Beis Hamikdash, Mizbeach, the Shulchan, the menorah. They all had the Ara. They all had a certain work they had in the Beis Hamikdash. The kiyar was not something that was meant for avodah, for the work in the Beis Hamikdash. The kiyar was a preparation. You washed your hands to prepare yourself to do the avodah, to go ahead and work. That's what the kiyar was. The kiddush yadayim v'raglayim, the washing the hands and the feet that the Kohanim did, that wasn't the avodah itself. The kiddush yadayim v'raglayim was a preparation for working in the Beis Hamikdash. Achanis. Now, that's why it's said separately. And it's also interesting to note that the kiyar has no measurements. So just make a kiyar. It doesn't say how big. All the other kelim, there's measurements, exact measurements how to make it. The kiyar has no measurements. Why doesn't the kiyar have any measurements?
Was there only one kiyar or the whole kiyar?
One kiyar. There was one kiyar. There's a bunch of faucets around it. There was one kiyar. Why doesn't the kiyar have measurements? So in Yiddish there's a saying, that the hachana for the mitzvah is aggressive with the mitzvah alone.
Erev Shabbos is more important.
The preparing for the mitzvah is bigger than the mitzvah itself.
I tell my wife that when she gets ready for Pesach.
The preparing for the mitzvah is bigger than the mitzvah itself. So therefore, all the kelim in the Beis Hamikdash, there were measurements. There was a limit how much you can make it. The kiyar, there was no limit. It's a achana, it's a preparation for the mitzvah. A preparation for the mitzvah, there's no limit to how big it could be. It could be as big as you want.
We have no idea how big it was.
The Gemara gives measurements how big the kiyar was. It was pretty big.
Was it big?
Very big. The kiyar was huge. And one of the biggest kelim thing was the kiyar. It was almost as big as the Mizbeach HaChitzon. The kiyar was very big. There's no measurements. And the reason why the kiyar was very big, there's an interesting Ibn Ezra. Ibn Ezra says, where did the kiyar come from? What was it made out of? So in this week's Parsha, there's very little Rashi. There's one big Rashi in the whole Parsha, I think. And what's that Rashi? And Rashi says, by the kiyar, Vayas es ha-kiyar l'choishes, Vayskar l'choishes b'madois, ha-tzoivois, ha-shotzovu, pesach, oyam moyeh. With the mirrors that they had, made out of copper, that's how they made the kiyar. And Rashi says over here, what's the maras ha-tzoivois? So Rashi says the husbands came home from work. There was a time that the nation of Klal Yisrael was in jeopardy of existing. Why? Because the men worked very hard in the fields in Mitzrayim, and they came home one night and they just went straight to sleep. They didn't have time for anything. So it said the ladies went ahead and they had mirrors and they made themselves look nice for their husbands in order that they should have kids and continue the continuity of Klal Yisrael. That's what the mirrors are made out of, which is also schus the ladies had. Anyone who came and gave it, they had to take it. Whatever they got, from there they made the kiyar. That's why there's no measurements. As big as it was, as many as they got, they made it. Now, but going from the kiyar was there for kiddush yadayim v'raglayim. They used to wash their hands and their feet before they went ahead and did the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash. Kiddush yadayim v'raglayim. Now we learn out from here, according to one of the Rishonim, that any time you prepare for a mitzvah, you have to wash your hands. It's called Netilas Yadayim. And we'll go through a little bit today what the din of Netilas Yadayim is in the morning and before davening. That'll be today's topic, exactly what it is. But before we get into that topic, it says there was Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim. They washed their hands and their feet. The Gemara says they put their hands on their feet and they put it under the kiyar and they washed it. And the question is, if the hands were touching their feet, then how could you wash your hands? You got to wash it again afterwards. It doesn't help if you wash your hands.
Was there a faucet for the kiyar?
But the faucet, they turn on the faucet.
You don't touch your feet.
It says Yadayim V'Raglayim. They put their hands on their feet and they washed.
On your hands on the feet.
On the feet.
Oh, I
Because they washed together.
No,
Everything together.
and they washed it together.
Oh, I didn't hear. Okay.
If they put their hands on your feet, how could you wash? So now your hands are becoming tummy, touching your
Not one
feet.
by one, the left and the right and the right and the left and the left, but all four together.
Let's say they did the right and the right. They turned it on, they did the left, but still your hands were on the feet.
One of them.
Yes, so that was tummy. And then it's tummy from touching the feet. So the Asar Rishonim want to say it was lav dafka that touched the feet. It was a drop above the feet. But it's not much like that. So it's Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim. They did it together. Monach Yodav Araglav, and they washed it. So I went 2 years ago. I tried to look for it yesterday. I couldn't find it. And I saw a tshuva once that if the mitzvah is to do Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim, to wash your hands and your feet together, then your feet are not considered tamei at that point for washing your hands. That means you're washing your hands and your feet, you're mekadosh both of them. Your feet don't have tumah, they're not called tamei when it comes time for doing Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim.
Before you wash it, but not
No, before everything you have to wash. You have to wash your hands and your feet.
Well, obviously after you wash it, it's not tummy anymore.
No, but you wash your feet. Even after you wash your feet, you touch your feet. So some Rishonim want to say that if you wash your feet, after you wash your feet, and then you go ahead and you touch it, then it's not matame anymore. Which is a big chiddush. And if someone washes above his elbows, right? You're not allowed to touch above your elbows. You touch it, you wash it, you clean it, you wash it, and then you touch it. You have to still tame. Right? So I'm just trying to want to say, so I want to say that a kiddush is once you wash your feet, so now your feet aren't tummy anymore, and therefore you can touch your feet. It's a big kiddush.
Well, what's the point of washing if they're not at some
point? What's the point? What's the point?
You're washing to lose the
right, so that's the question. Why did they wash their hands and their feet when they were in the Beis HaMikdash? Did it take off the tumah from the feet when they washed it, or not?
Well, the term you used was mekadesh.
Mekadesh.
So that mekadesh
So who says mekadesh means to take off the tumah? That's what I'm driving at. Who says mekadesh means to take off the tumah? That means if someone washed their hands and their feet at home, or in the Beis HaMikdash, before he wasn't planning on doing that
You should say metaher instead of mekadesh.
Right, true metaher. If someone had already washed his hands, right, then he wants to go do the avodah. Does he have to wash his hands a second time? Halachas he does. You have to wash your hands for the avodah. Even if you know your hands are clean, you still have to wash your hands for the avodah. And that's where we get to our topic today. It says in halacha in the morning, you make yirchatz yodav yivarech al netilas yadayim. You wash your hands in the morning and you make your bracha al netilas yadayim. Why are we washing our hands in the morning? What's the chiyuv to go ahead and wash your hands in the morning? So the Mishnah brings down a machlokes. It's a famous machlokes the Rishonim. The Rosh says the reason why you have to wash your hands in the morning when you get up in the morning is because at night you're not careful while you're touching. Stam yadayim askani hein, it's called. Hands move around. They touch places they're not supposed to be touching. Therefore, when you wake up in the morning, your hands are dirty, meaning they touch the makom. There shouldn't be a place they shouldn't be touching. You have to wash your hands because of that. The Rosh will come out according to the Rosh. If someone sleeps with gloves on, right, and he gets up in the morning, he doesn't have to wash his hands. Because what's the reason why you wash your hands? Because you touch some place you shouldn't be touching. If you're not worried about that, according to the Rosh, you're wearing gloves and you get up in the morning, you do not have to wash your hands according to the Rosh.
They're assuming you went to bed with clean hands.
Yes, so you went to bed with clean hands, yes. Then, according to the Rosh, you don't have to wash your hands because you're wearing gloves, you didn't touch anything. That's the Rosh. The Rashba says a different
also would be enough kamina that you can wash whichever you want.
What do you mean?
You don't have to do the...
Yeah, for sure. We'll get to that in a second. According to the Rosh, you don't have to do, we'll see, you don't have to do one hand, the other hand. We'll get to that in a second. That's the Rosh. The Rashba says, Mishmur brings down a Rashba. The Rashba says another reason why you wash your hands in the morning. It says the Rashba, Nakot Tumo, for Rashba Kosav, the Fisha B'Shachar Achar Hasheno, after you get up in the morning, Anu Nasim Kiber Yechadosha. You become a new being. You get up in the morning, the Neshama goes up at night, comes back down in the morning. In the morning, we're a new being. The Chsiv Chadoshim Labakarim Rabba Emunasecha. Every morning, you become a new person.
What happens if you take a nap during the day?
Okay, so according to the Rav, you don't have to wash your hands.
And is there a shiur?
No, according to the Rav, make a difference.
No?
No, according to the Rav, see soon. According to the Rashba, you can sleep as much as you want by day. You don't have to wash your hands. We'll see soon.
Like that.
We'll see soon. We'll see soon. We'll see in a second. Tzrichim anu lahoidos lo yizbarach. We have to thank Hashem. Shebaranu l'chvoidoi. Every morning we get up, we say Moeda'ani, we thank Hashem. He made us a new person. L'sarsai l'varech shmoi, to work for Him. V'aldavar zeh tiknu b'shachar kol ha'osin ha'brachos. That's why all the brachos we have in the morning, the brachos ha'shachar, is for that reason. V'chein davar zeh tiknu b'shachar lehiskadesh b'kdushasai v'lital yadeinu. To be mekadesh ourselves, to do kiddush, and to wash our hands, v'nakli kikoyen shemekadesh yadav minakiyar koydim avadasai. Since we're a new person in the morning, and what are we people for? We're not people to eat and drink. We're people to serve Hashem. So every morning we're a new person. We're a new being to serve Hashem. The same way the Kehanim, when they went to the Beis HaMikdash, they had to wash their hands because now they're going to serve Hashem. Us, every morning we get up, we're a new servant to Hashem. We have to wash our hands in order to prepare ourselves to serve Hashem. Just like the Kiyah. The Rashba does not say one word about being Tameh. Nothing to do with Tameh. We're a new person. A new person becoming to work for Hashem. You need Kiddush Yadayim v'Raglayim. The same way they had it in the Beis HaMikdash by the Kiyah.
We don't wash our feet.
Oh. So according to this, according to the Rashba, you have to wash your feet also. Right? According to the Rashba, the same way the Kohen the Beis HaMikdash washes his feet, we should have to wash our feet.
So this only happens at night?
It only happens at night.
So if a person works night shift all his life,
Yeah, according to the Rashba, you won't have to... A day's sleep, we don't find that it makes you a new barrier.
and it doesn't, like, there's no Indian of, like, he fell asleep before dawn, and, you know,
No, it fell asleep before dawn, something else.
so as long as part of it...
Yeah. Fall asleep some part during the night before our lois, then maybe he has to. So what?
That's why Hasidim go to the mikveh, right?
For the same reason.
Yeah, that reason.
Because of this reason.
Yeah.
Because of this reason, Chassidim go to the mikveh every morning. Why?
Feet wash.
Because the Rashba says we're like Kahanim. We're like Kahanim. We have to wash our hands and our feet like Kahanim. Kahanim went to the mikveh also before the avodah. That's where it comes from, to go to the mikveh every morning. Now, says the Magen Avraham, I'm reading the Gemara. It's a Gemara. He quotes the Gemara. Reichitz Adam Panav Yadav Viraglov B'chol Yoim B'shum K'vayit Kainai. K'vayit Kainai means like the Kahana, the Beis HaMikdash. We're going to do avodah for Hashem. You have to wash your hands and your feet, says the Magen Avraham. And that's what the Magen Avraham paskins. He stays with that. In the morning, you get up in the morning, says the Magen Avraham, you have to wash Panav Yadav Viraglov. Your hands, your face, and your feet. Just like the Kahanim did in the Beis HaMikdash. The Pri Megadim says, we don't do that. We don't wash our hands and our feet in the morning.
Take a shower.
Yeah. But some people take a shower at night. I don't want to take a shower in the morning. So the Magen Avraham says, the Pri Megadim says, the only time you have to wash your feet also is when they used to walk around barefoot. Today you walk around with our feet covered, there's no need to wash the feet, and that's the Pri Megadim paskins. The Magen Avraham argues. Magen Avraham says you have to wash your hands and your feet in the morning. The Ma'aser, the minhag item is to wash your hands and maybe your face. There is brought down halacha that a person should also wash his face. Panav v'yadav.
The eyes.
Mouth.
The mouth is a different halacha that says you should wash out your mouth also before you daven. But these are all for preparation to serve Hashem. Nothing to do with Tumah. The Rashba sheet is we're doing it for preparation. So according to the Rashba, if someone's up a whole night, does he have to wash his hands? So we'll see later on. The Chayim said that according to the Rashba, he said every morning a person has to wash his hands because of that, and it didn't make a difference if you were up or not. In the morning you have to wash your hands. We'll get to that soon. So far we have two reasons. One's the Rosh, that you touch places you shouldn't have been touching. The second is the Rashba, because we're a new person, we're like the Kehanim. We're like the Kehanim, we have to prepare ourselves. There's another reason that Mishmur doesn't bring down over here at all. And the question is, why not? The third reason, which is a very famous reason, is something called Ruach Ra. There's this bad spirit, I don't know what to call it, spirit, whatever you want to call it, that rests on a person, and the Gemara calls it Bas Melech, that's the name of this spirit, and it rests on the person. It doesn't leave the person until he washes his hands, the Tilas Yadayim in the morning, or her hands, till the person washes their hands in the morning, the Tilas Yadayim. Now, for some reason, here's a big down over here, the Mechaber, the Mishnah Berurah. I think the reason is because for Ruach Ra, there was no bracha. We don't make a bracha for washing your hands for Ruach Ra. That means when you cut your nails, Nagelwasser, right? What do we wash in the morning? What's what we called in the morning? What's it called?
Nagelwasser.
What's called Nagelwasser? What's Nagelwasser? What's Nagelwasser? You're washing your nails? What's Nagelwasser? Where's the terminology of Nagelwasser come from? Never thought about that, huh? You wash Nagelwasser in the morning. I'm not sure, but I think the terminology comes from is because when you cut your nails, you also have to wash your hands. You also have to wash your hands. The washing your hands of cutting your nails is the same washing your hands as when you get up in the morning. They're both because of Ruach Ra. Same reason. They both have a Ruach Ra, a bad spirit, and that's why you wash your hands. When you wash your hands after you cut your nails, you also have to wash it, we'll speak soon, the same way you wash it, but you don't make a bracha. No, because Ruach Ra, we don't make a bracha on. For Ruach Ra, we don't make a bracha. The only reason you make a bracha is either because of the rush, because you touch places you shouldn't be touching, or because of we're a new person in the morning. But that has nothing to do with Ruach Ra. Later on, the Mechaber brings down Yedaktek Larais Aleim Mayim Gimel Pa'amim Lahave Ruach Ra Shasher Aleim. It's a different halacha, whole different halacha. You get up in the morning, you have to wash the tails time and make a bracha. Why? Rosh and the Rajva's reasons. A new halacha, a whole new halacha. There's something called a Ruach Ra.
But if I still have Ruach, how do I have still Ruach Ra under my nails if I already did Negavasa in the morning?
So it depends how you wash in the morning. If you get, for the Rosh and the Rashba, it doesn't say how you wash your hands. Go pour water on your hands like you wash to eat or anything, and your hands, according to the Rosh, for sure. According to the Rosh, the reason because your hands are dirty, Askani is saying, you pour water, you put it under the sink, you're fine. You don't have to have a keli, you don't have to have a vessel to wash it from.
No, so I do it
according to the Rashba,
3 times.
according to the Rashba, also doesn't say anywhere about 3 times. So if someone gets up in the morning and he washes and he wants to make a bracha, he should be able to make a bracha, even if he doesn't wash 3 times, one hand after the next, because that's Ruach Ra, and for that we're not talking about a bracha. The bracha is only because of the Rosh and the Rashba. There's another problem in Ruach Ra. The Mechaber brings it down. Now the Mechaber says Yidaktek. You should be careful. Why? This Ruach Ra that we're all so familiar with, and that's why we think that's the only reason why I wash hands in the morning, goes from one extreme to the other extreme. Meaning, some people say Ruach Ra. Today there's no Ruach Ras. So today we're washing our hands in the morning. Why? Because of the Rosh and the Rashba. Ruach Ra today, we don't get affected by Ruach Ras. You don't have to worry about it so much like they used to have to worry about it. Therefore, let's do the Rosh and the Rashba. Ruach Ra only comes off, the Mechaber says, when you wash the 3 hands consecutively. You can't wash 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can't do that. You have to wash 1, then the left hand, the right hand, then the left hand. You have to do each one separate. That's when the Ruach Ra comes off. If someone comes in the morning and pours water over his hands, and it's 3 times, then the Ruach Ra doesn't leave. So if someone's not makbir on the Ruach Ra, then he has the Rosh and the Rashba, he'll make a bracha anyway. So the Mechaber says, Yidaktek, you should be careful. You should worry about the Ruach Ra, and therefore you should wash your hands 3 times, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
But again, if I did it,
So
now
did it,
I trim my nails an hour later.
You cut your nails an hour later?
Why do I have the Ruach Ra? Why do I
back.
still have to do Negavasa?
If you cut your nails?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but when you cut your nails, the Ruach Ra comes back.
Why?
That's
Why would it-
that I don't know.
And a haircut.
Yeah, haircut.
Haircut also. Haircut also. You cut your hair, you have to wash your hands, but not because of Ruach Ra. That's for a different reason. Because you touch your head, cutting the nails, you have to do it because of Ruach Ra.
I don't touch my. The barber touching my.
Yeah, but well, cutting your hair is not so simple. It's because of Ruach Ra. But cutting your nails is definitely because of Ruach Ra. So when you cut your nails, automatically the Ruach Ra comes onto you. It's interesting. My daughter was much younger, so you cut the hands. They say after you cut the nails, go wash Negelwasser, and that's why it's called Negelwasser, because of the nails. When you cut your nails, you have to wash it. I think that's what comes from in the morning also. So I remember I once cut her toenails. I said, so now go wash Negelwasser. She says, you washed my feet, you didn't wash my hands. So what do I have to wash my hands for? I should have to wash my feet. So I laughed at her. I said, it was a little kid then, and it was a good joke. I said, go wash your hands. I found out afterwards that the Eshel Avram, the Bechacha, is in the back of Shulchan Aruch. says that when you cut your toenails, you have to wash your feet.
Feet?
Your feet.
3 times?
Yeah. Same when you wash your hands. I heard that people came out against it because of it, but it's interesting. The Eish Avram does say that when you cut your toenails, you have to wash your feet. L'maisa, we don't do that. When we cut our toenails, the Ruach Ra comes on the person. For some reason, which I don't understand, the Ruach Ra leaves through the hands. Whatever the reason is, I don't know. Same thing in the morning. We get up in the morning, you have a Ruach Ra in your whole body, right? So what do? You wash your hands. How does it take care of the Ruach Ra that's on the rest of the body? The Ruach Ra is on your body, right? So you wash your hands, how does that help? So they say because the Ruach Ra leaves through the hands.
So
Therefore you wash the hands and you get rid of the Ruach Ra.
Even if you cut your toenails.
Even if you cut your toenails. So now you have the Ruach Ra. Right. Because it leaves through your hands.
Okay.
What happens even when you cut your toenails? The Ruach Ra comes on you now, right? But that Ruach Ra, how do you get rid of it? You get rid of it through the hands. I don't understand what it means, but
you don't have to wash the toes.
you don't have to wash, no. You wash the hands, not the toenails, not the toes. So the Mechaber said you should be dactic, that when in the morning you should wash your hands 3 times, one after the next, to get rid of the Ruach Ra. Even though it's not the reason why you make a bracha. It's a third reason for washing your hands in the morning, but you have to be careful with it. The Mishnah Berurah in the beginning says, Umiyad k'shi oyre mishnasai ve'ene roitz elishon yitel yadav av shanishar mushkaf. If a person is staying in bed, he's not ready to get out of bed yet, but once you get up in the morning, you have to wash negel vatsa right away. This washing has nothing to do with the Rosh and the Rashba. The Rosh, your hands are dirty. You have to wash your hands. For what? When you're ready to daven, you have to wash your hands. The Rashba, you have to wash your hands because you're a new person. When do you have to wash your hands? When I get out of bed and I'm ready to get dressed, I'll wash my hands. Those 2 reasons don't tell you to do it right away. Ruach Ra tells you have to do it right away. And what's the reason for it? Because if a Ruach Ra is on you, you have to get rid of it right away. You can't leave it on you. That's why a lot of people are makbid that they have negavas by the beds. Because the whole question, if you're allowed to walk at all while the Ruach Ra is on you, this has nothing to do with the Rosh and the Rashba. It's a whole different reason. The third reason of Ruach Ra doesn't make you make a bracha, but it's the most severe reasons why we have to wash our hands. And it says even more. It says if someone didn't wash his hands in the morning, he's not allowed to touch anything. You're not allowed to touch food. Why can't you touch food? Because you have the Ruach Ra on you, and you touch food, you're putting the Ruach Ra on the food. There's a whole question if it goes on to clothing also.
So
You touch your clothing.
all these people that are preparing food for us.
Right, so it's a big problem. The person speak about it. So if it's a goy, goyim don't have the Ruach Ra. Goyim don't have the Ruach Ra. And the reason, it's all api Kabbalah. It's all api Kabbalah. The goyim, the Ruach Ra is only for people who are on a high level of Kedusha, the Ruach Ra attaches to them. But goyim that aren't on a high level of Kedusha, the Ruach Ra doesn't attach to them. So goyim don't have the Ruach Ra. The problem is that there are Jews who aren't Shemitah Torah mitzvahs. And they have the Ruach Ra on them. And they go ahead, they prepare your food for you. It's a big problem. It's a big problem. There's some people that are makbid that they won't take food from a place where there's non-from workers.
Yeah.
For that reason.
You could never buy anything in the store, period.
Yeah, today you cannot buy anything in the store because today, unfortunately, so many fry yidden out there that any kosher product has fry yidden touching it, unless it's processed on the machines, so they don't touch the food itself. They touch the box and it's fine. So they don't touch the food, but in bakeries, they touch the food itself.
Yeah, but they're usually wearing tongs or gloves.
No.
Okay, so if they're wearing gloves,
Had the problem. Had this problem.
you have a problem.
Yeah, I asked them to wash.
And
So, can you go and check them in the morning and say wash? I told them to do it.
yeah, a person who owns a bakery or a butcher shop, whatever it is,
And
and they're touching the food, it should be very makbid that the yidden should make sure they wash the tefillas adayim. It's a big problem. It's a problem if a Jew does not wash till Zedayim, the food's a problem. Some people that are makbid, that any food they eat, they make sure they wash it off. The halacha is if let's say someone touched the food with his hands before you wash negavasa, so if you wash it off 3 times, then the ruach ra leaves the food also. So it depends on the type of food you have. If it's fruits and vegetables, then you can wash it off. If it's cake and cookies, you can't wash it off. So the people that are makbid with fruits and vegetables, they always wash it off before they eat it for this reason. They always wash it off and take off the ruach ra, because you never know who touched it on the way.
You have to use the keli?
You should use a kli, yeah. Do it with a kli. Yeah, I guess those people are makbid, I guess. I'm assuming
You have to
so.
wash it that way like you do?
You wash it 3 times.
Yeah.
You can't do right and left, because there's only one fruit. But it comes time to other food, baked food and stuff like that, you can't wash it. Some people are very makbid, they're very careful which bakeries they buy from. Because even though the kashrus is okay and it's the best texture, but if you have fry yidden working there, they don't wash negavas in the morning, it's a problem. The same thing is with kids.
They're not supposed to touch food. I mean, the health
Yeah,
of the, you're not supposed to touch food.
they're not supposed to.
Well, what do you do in a bakery?
And you
Yeah.
need dough.
What?
Yeah.
What do they do
Wear
in a bakery?
gloves,
Wear
tongs.
Yeah, we
They're
hope
not
so.
supposed to.
They're not supposed to, but you know what I mean. You go to the back. You're happy if you only use the hands, not the feet.
Eating the dough.
That's
Why would any of these 3 reasons not require a bracha?
no. The first 2 reasons require the bracha.
Yeah, so why would the third?
Ruach ra doesn't require bracha, and the reason is because ruach ra is sakana.
Yeah, but
It's
it
not a
says
mitzvah.
Kiddushim mitzvah. It's tzivanu. The rabbi said that they should wash hands.
No,
so
we don't make
that's what I
bracha.
said.
We don't make brachas on sakanas. We don't make a bracha on a sakana. Anything
the
we
rabbi
do
said that
doesn't
to
make a
make
difference.
bracha.
That's what
The
Taisa
bracha
says. Taisa says the reason why we don't make a bracha on mayim achreinim. Why do we make a bracha on mayim achreinim? It's a mitzvah because it's meant for a sakana, to get rid of a sakana.
The rabbis didn't say to make a bracha on my
No, why not? So Taisa says the kasha and churun. Taisa says because anything that's because of sakana, we don't make a bracha on. Anything we're doing because of sakana, we don't make a bracha on. So
What's
ruach,
sakana, Rabbi?
sakana is danger.
That's
Danger,
what
not because of a mitzvah.
Danger.
Because of danger. Ruach ra is danger. Right? We wash mayim achreinim because of the salt. Right? Which is dangerous, sakana. Anything we do to get to avoid a sakana, to avoid danger, we don't make a bracha on it. That's the whole question with Kriya Shema Lamita. Why? We spoke about this thing. If we make a bracha on Kriya Shema Lamita, you say Kriya Shema before we go to sleep. So if the reason why we say Kriya Shema before we go to sleep is to protect us from mazikim, from dangerous demons that are hanging around, spirits that are hanging around, so you won't make a bracha on it. Because it's a protection. Anything that's a protection from a danger, we don't make a bracha on it. So that's why if you wash in your hands because of ruach ra, then we don't make a bracha on it. That's ruach ra. Anything that's there for protection, we don't make a bracha. But it comes out the most we have. The thing that's worried about most in the morning is the ruach ra. Because first they have to wash their hands right away. And second, for other people who didn't wash their hands, you're in trouble. Kids get up in the morning, right? They don't wash their gavas, they touch food in the house. It's a problem. So it happens to be that Eshel Avram, same when we spoke about before about washing the feet, he happens to say that there's no ruach ra on kids. Big chiddush, but most persons don't go with it. So even kids that get up in the morning, forget about for themselves. Even for, let's say you're not worried about the kids themselves. But for you, if they're going to go ahead, they're going to take cereal and milk, right? So they go to this cabinet, take out the cereal, they pour milk. They just touched stuff with their ruach ra hands. It's a problem. That's why you have to be very careful. Kids, grandkids are in your house. The first thing you do in the morning is, did you wash negavasa before you touch anything? I make my kids walk like this so they wash negavasa. This way they wash negavasa right away. Otherwise you have to help the hands
What's
up.
those guys' name? Those black guys? Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. You gotta wash negavasa right away in the morning. Because otherwise the ruach ra touches clothing is the whole question. If you touch your clothing, what the halacha is. If you have to be makbid, that if you touch clothing, the ruach ra goes on it.
How about if you shake hands?
You can't.
Yeah, so that means you can't shake hands with anybody.
Right, so you wash them? Oh.
Yeah,
Period in life.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know who
a lot of guys
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
They do the elbow thing.
Yeah. If someone didn't wash his hands in the morning,
I understand shake people's hands.
yeah.
The roof.
They go wash their hands out.
They make them wash their hands beforehand.
So
I don't know.
how does it work going to the bathroom a few times a night?
So I want to get to all this, but didn't get to it. Going to the bathroom also is a ruach ra, which I have to get to a different
No,
time.
I'm saying you go to the bathroom, you have to wash Negel Wasser when you're...
So that's the question. When you get up in the middle of the night and you have to go use the washroom, what do? You have to wash Wasser.
Better not.
So why better not?
Because
Go into
half
sleep.
asleep, you don't
Try
know
not
what
to
you're
get
doing.
away.
So I'll tell you very briefly.
It better be brief, better be
Yes,
okay.
yes, l'hakel.
Good.
You have to wash your
Yes,
hands.
That's all
l'hakel.
we need to know.
That's all you need to
You
know.
have to wash your hands.
That's what I'm
You have to wash your hands after you go to the bathroom and make ashiyotza for sure.
Yes.
For sure you have to. But if you want to wash Negel Wasser, the Armakilim say that until you don't get up in the morning, the Ruach Ra is not showing, it doesn't come on you until you're ready to get up.
It disappears at sunrise.
Huh?
It disappears at sunrise.
No, it doesn't disappear at
I mean,
sunrise.
It's there.
It's there. But when you get up in the morning, the last time you're getting up, then if a but, then you have to be makbid. Make sure that the second you get up, you wash your hands. Even if you're lying in bed. Don't lie in bed. You can't take it from both ends.
Why can't you lie in bed?
Because that's a lot of the Ruach Ra. The second you get up, the Ruach Ra falls on you. That's what the Halacha says. That's what the Mishnah Berurah. Mishnah Berurah says even if you're lying in bed, you still have to wash your hands right away. Why? Because you're not allowed to let the Ruach Ra stay on you longer than it has to. So the second you get up, you should go ahead and wash Negel Wasser. For that, I'm not giving you a kula.
I'm not asking for one.
Okay.
Most temples are shiratza after going to the washroom,
And middle of the night.
right?
Even you don't wash the Negel Wasser, and Mashiyatza you have to make.
Why? Even during the day, I can wait until I go again.
No,
I don't have to do it. I don't have to do
that
it.
far.
Once you have to go again, you can't make another Mashiyatza.
But you don't have to do it immediately after you've been to the washroom.
You do.
Shiatza, yeah.
Immediately after you go to the bathroom,
I think
yeah.
we should learn about that.
once you don't make Ashiyatza immediately and you wait, and you have to go again, then you can't make Ashiyatza anymore. You lost it. You lost the Ashiyatza.
That's the first one.
You have to make Ashiyatza every time you go to the bathroom. So you go to the bathroom, right after you come out of the bathroom, okay, you want to wait a minute or two, you can wait a minute or two. It's not a hefsek. There's no problem of hefsek. But you can't wait an hour because you may have to use the bathroom again. Second, you use the bathroom, and especially at night, and you're going back to sleep, you sure have to make Ashiyatza.
So I have a Tuma and Ruach Ra, and then make brachos.
No,
and then
some Rishonim say no.
wears a kippah
No,
and,
some Achronim
go
say,
sleep.
you don't have the Ruach Ra yet. Till you're not getting up in the morning, the
Ready to
last
get up,
time,
yeah.
the Ruach Ra doesn't come on you.
Well, it's 4:30. I don't know if it's the last time or not.
Okay,
This is
problem.
it.
Then it's a problem. If you get up in the morning at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and you're probably not going to fall back asleep, then you have to wash Negel Wasser right away. Then you have to.
Go back to
If you
sleep.
get up at 1 o'clock, you know for sure you're going to go use the bathroom, go back to sleep right away, and you could be makel not to have to wash Negel Wasser. But if you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and 90% chance you're not going to fall back asleep, then you should wash Negel Wasser.
Rabbi, to sum up, how do you wash Negel Wasser? 1, 2,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you should do 7 and 8. You should do 7 and 8. The Berurah says you should do 7 and 8 because you did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but now the water that's on your hand has in it the Ruach Ra that's left over on your hands. You wash the 7th and 8th time to get rid of that water, so now the water is clean.
Rather than 10.
We do 8 times. We wash. No, you can't do 1, 2, 3,
No,
1,
I
2,
know,
3.
that's what I always did.
No. You gotta switch hands. 1, 1, 1, 1.
That's why I come to lunch at lunch.
Yeah, 8 times. Do it 8 times.
8 times.
Just do it 8 times. That's the question. Do it 8 times, and do 1, 1, 1, 1, and you're okay. You'll see your whole day will be different.